I bumped into something. Somebody sent me something written by Robert A. Hall, and it's titled "I'm 63 and I'm tired." Um, I'm 63, except for one semester in college when jobs were scarce and a 6-month period when I was between jobs, but job hunting every day. I worked hard since I was 18. Despite some health challenges, I still put in 50-hour weeks, and haven't called in sick in 7 or 8 years. I make a good salary, but I didn't inherit my job or my income, and I worked to get where I am. Given the economy, there's no retirement in sight, and I'm tired. Very tired. I'm tired of being told that I have to spread the wealth to people who don't have my work ethic. I'm tired of being told the government will take the money I earned by force if necessary and give it to people too lazy to earn it. I'm tired of being told that I have to pay more taxes to keep people in their homes. Sure, if they lost their jobs or got sick, I'm willing to help. But if they bought MC mansions at 3 times the price of our paid off $250,000 condo on 1/3 of my salary, then let the left wing Congress critters who passed Fannie and Freddie and the Community Reinvestment Act that created the bubble use their own money to help them. I'm tired of being told how bad America is by left-wing millionaires like Michael Moore, George Soros, and Hollywood entertainers who live in luxury because of opportunities America provided to them. In 30 years, if they get their way, the United States will have 1. Economy of Zimbabwe, 2. The freedom of press of China, 3. The crime and violence of Mexico, 4. The tolerance for Christian people of Iran, 5. The freedom of speech of Venezuela. I'm tired of being told that Islam is a religion of peace, when every day I can read stories of Muslim men killing their sisters, wives, and daughters for the family, honor, of Muslims rioting over some slight offense, of Muslims murdering Christians and Jews because they aren't believers, of Muslims burning schools for girls, of Muslims stoning teenage rape victims to death for adultery, of Muslim mutilating the genitals of little girls, all in the name of Allah, because the Quran and Sharia law tells them to. I'm tired of being told that race doesn't matter in the post-racial world of Obama, when it's all that matters in affirmative action jobs, lower college admission and graduation standards for minorities, harming them the most, government contract set-asides, tolerance for the ghetto culture of violence and fatherless children that hurt minorities more than anyone, and in the appointments of U.S. senators from Illinois. I'm tired of being told that out of tolerance for other cultures we must not complain when Saudi Arabia uses the money we pay for their oil to fund mosques and madras Islamic schools to preach hate in America, while no American group is allowed to fund a church, synagogue, or religious school in Saudi Arabia to teach love and tolerance. I'm tired of being told I must lower my living standard to fight global warming, which no one is allowed to debate. My wife and I live in a 2-bedroom apartment and carpool together 5 miles to our jobs. We also own a 3-bedroom condo where our daughter and granddaughter live. Our carbon footprint is about 5% of Al Gore's, and if you're greener than Gore, you're green enough. I'm tired of being told that drug addicts have a disease and I must help support and treat them and pay for the damage they do. That a giant germ rush out of a dark alley, grab them, and stuff white powder up their nose while they try to fight it off. I don't think gay people choose to be gay, but I don't know what it says, but blank sure think druggies choose to take drugs. And I'm tired of harassment from cool people treating me like a freak when I tell them I never tried marijuana. I'm tired of illegal aliens being called undocumented workers, especially those who aren't working but living on welfare or crime. What's next? Calling drug dealers undocumented pharmacists? And no, I'm not against Hispanics. Most of them are Catholic, and it's been a few hundred years since Catholics wanted to kill me for my religion. I'm willing to fast-track citizenship for any Hispanic who can speak English, doesn't have a criminal record, and who is self-supporting without family on welfare, or who serves honorably for 3 years in our military. Those are the kind of citizens we need. I'm tired of the trashing of our military by latte liberals and journalists who would never wear the uniform of the republic themselves or let their entitlement handicapped kids near a recruiting station. They and their kids can sit at home, never having to make split-second decisions on their life and death circumstances and badmouth better people than themselves. Do bad things happen in war? You bet. Do our troops sometimes misbehave? Sure. Does this compare with the atrocities that were the policy of our enemies for the last 50 years and still are? Not even close. So here's the deal for those folks. I'll let myself be subjected to all the humiliation and abuse that was heaped on terrorists at Abu Ghraib or Gitmo, while the critics of our military can be subject to captivity by the Muslims who tortured and beheaded Daniel Peark in Pakistan, or the Muslims who tortured and murdered Marine Lieutenant Colonel William Higgins in Lebanon, or the Muslims who ran the blood-spattered Al-Qaeda torture rooms our troops found in Iraq, or the Muslims who cut off the heads of schoolgirls in Indonesia because the girls were Christian. Then we'll compare notes. British and American soldiers are the only troops in history that civilians came to for help and handouts instead of hiding from in fear. I'm tired of people telling me that their party has a corner on virtue and the other party has a corner on corruption. Read the papers. Bums are bipartisan, and I'm tired of people telling me we need bipartisanship. I live in Illinois, where the Illinois Combine of Democrats has looted the public treasury for years, not to mention the tax cheats in Obama's cabinet. I'm tired of hearing wealthy athletes, entertainers, and politicians of both parties talking about innocent mistakes, stupid mistakes, or youthful mistakes, when all of us know that they think their only mistake was getting caught. Speaking of poor, I'm tired of people with a sense of entitlement who have air-conditioned homes, color TVs, and 2 cars called poor. The majority of America didn't have that in 1970, but we didn't know we were poor. The poverty pimps have to keep changing the definition of poor to keep the dollars flowing. I'm real tired of people, rich or poor, who don't take responsibility for their lives and actions. I'm tired of hearing them blame the government or discrimination or big whatever for their problems. Yes, I'm tired, but I'm also glad to be 63, mostly because I'm not gonna have to see the world these people are making. I'm just sorry for my granddaughter. Robert A. Hall is a Marine Vietnam veteran who served 5 terms in the Massachusetts State Senate. It's quite a read. It's quite a read. With this came along also a note that there's a Robert D. Hall who's an actor in CSI, and I think that's 2 different people. It's quite a read. It's called I'm 63 and I'm Tired, and I just wanted to dedicate this video to this because I just googled it real quick on YouTube and there's nothing on it here, so I hope that it was a good read for you, something for you to think about if you're living in America, that we need people to step up and solve some of these problems. God bless.